Could banning under 16s from social media be the solution we need, or is it a step too far in controlling our digital lives?
The eyes of the world are on Australia this morning after Parliament passed sweeping world-first laws overnight, banning children and teenagers from social media.
Social media is doing harm to our children.
The move has attracted global attention, with the Albanese government rushing the bill through, along with more than 40 others.
With some of the toughest restrictions ever proposed, Australia's new social media laws are making waves globally and stirring up a lot of debate. Australia's Senate has passed legislation that will prohibit children under 16 from using social media, marking the world's highest age limit for such restrictions. These laws, set to roll out in at least 12 months, could fine tech companies up to 50 million Australian dollars if they fail to comply. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese defended the move, calling it a much-needed measure to shield kids from the dangers of online platforms.
Parents can have a different discussion with their young ones, a different discussion that will result in better outcomes and less harm for young Australians. Platforms now have a social responsibility to ensure the safety of our kids is a priority for them.
This decision raises critical questions. Critics argue that it's not clear how these rules will work in practice or what unintended consequences they might have. For instance, children won't be penalised for circumventing the ban, but with tools like VPNs readily available, enforcement might prove difficult. The legislation leaves certain platforms exempt, including gaming and messaging apps, as well as sites like YouTube that don't require accounts to access content. The details on how platforms will verify users' ages remain vague, but the government plans to test age verification technologies, possibly involving biometrics or identity checks. Experts, however, worry about privacy risks and question whether these methods will be effective.
Well, so other countries have tried versions of what the Australians are about to embark on. South Korea actually turned the internet off for all under 18s. There was no savings to well-being, no improvements to sleep, no changes to well-being or school marks. And ultimately, it was shown to be unconstitutional.
Polling suggests many Australian parents back the reform. Amy Friedlander, a parent advocate, summed up the frustrations of many to the BBC. For too long, parents have faced an impossible choice between giving their child an addictive device or seeing them feel left out. But experts caution that the law may be too blunt an instrument, potentially driving kids toward unregulated parts of the internet. Global tech companies like Google, Meta, and TikTok have expressed concerns about the legislation, with some labeling it ineffective or overly broad. TikTok noted the government's definition of social media could apply to nearly every online service, while X, formerly Twitter, questioned its compatibility with international human rights standards. Youth advocates have also voiced their frustrations, arguing they've been excluded from conversations shaping their digital futures. The eSafety Youth Council highlighted this issue, writing, "We need to be involved in developing solutions." Prime Minister Albanese has acknowledged the complexity of the debate, but insists the legislation is necessary. Some will find ways around these laws, he admitted. But that doesn't absolve us of our responsibility.
The legislation is very clear. We don't argue that its implementation will be perfect, just like the alcohol ban for under 18s doesn't mean that someone under 18 never has access, but we know that it's the right thing to do.
Whether Australia's social media ban becomes a blueprint for safeguarding kids or raises more challenges than solutions, it's a bold step into uncharted territory. The way this plays out could redefine how we balance technology, safety, and freedom in the digital age.